Have you ever pretended to care? Then you better beware. This might be a last chance to repent and reclaim any sense. The epicenter, a progenitor, it's better than you might have given credit to or from. Don't be so fucking dumb, I'm the one who's having fun. It looks like it's already 2023 and it's gonna be another conundrum. A bundle of fundamentalist, indentured centurion, Saracen cavalier in a saddle with rattling battle gear. Encumbering penitence with a menace is present. Condemn it, can we even speak of where to send me? Offend me, if anything, it's a benefit any day. Anyway, many a men and women aplenty ready to spread like some chlamydia. India, intermittent city perimeter, with a figure to dance with a lance, the last chance to advance to Dravidia. It's getting us both just a little giddy, aren't you? Like you know you're gonna die, so let's go out in style. At least you can make me smile like a tile of ivory was plastered up inside this side of me. Wouldn't really surprise me. If you tell me to relax, that means you're the last person any of us are ever gonna listen to, alright? The grittier the circumstance, the prettier the decadence of images it'll imprint into your motivational stimulus. I'm just insinuating that it's worth debating how romantically insinuous, continuous between us. Either way, we're both a Trojan romantic inquisitor with a steel scissor clipper for what's under the zippers. And now we're not just visitors, this is to regret a deficit plebiscite. What's the benefit of being better against the head of the minister? Yes sir, it's certainly sinister. Sin is surrogately pertinent first to the innocent. A curse to just burst at the worst of dirt in the dark when you lurk in the perch in the park. We both gonna have a snarky remark while we wait for the bait to bring the pay into the bay of a steel shark and mark our targets from the hardest to lethargic. Enlarge the whole mortar bombardment to scar the tarmac and crack the whole catalytic converter a car show when we flip the like deck a card trick show till it all flows. We spark it to the ignition, a nuclear fission, incinerate the whole fucking interstate. No, it couldn't wait. We gotta make all these cavalry disembark and put the Panzer Brigade into park. Yeah, the whole military parade gonna stop on a dart. It's a pandemic of propaganda and pandering rhetoric, entangled degenerates, slandering candidates for the panel of panoramic Islamic tyrannic raider invaders. Can it cater to Muslim crusaders or even a factual pimp Dracula spectacular? Yeah, laugh it up, we got to be the benefactor when we got the jobs right. A Mameluke mobsters, no it ain't an imposter. Yeah, you used to be worried about a legionnaire, now I'm rolling in like a Baghdad cavalier. It's gonna be pretty fucking complicated, laugh it up bitch, we're almost there. It's gonna cost you an arm or a leg. Oh yeah, we're gonna make them beg till they peg you as a fucking purgatory. I don't even know, murder stories never getting boring. This is turning into consultant with the sultan of Diablo's infallible cataphract heavy cavaliers. As a matter of fact, looking back at the bracket of Maximus Impact, to distract, or did we actually ask for this sort of bastards to close it in faster? I never thought I'd see the day that Persia and Salahuddin would merge with a caliphate Palestinian palisade powder keg empowered to reach out to the Maltese and Hospitaller today. I mean, even the Templar would get it if they weren't already complicitly complicated conversation in the UN and NATO and Senate. Once again and again, they gotta know better than to trust the motherfucking King of Spain or the Duke of Normandy, Fleur-de-Lis. Personally, I got nothing against them, like a curse to say about them or whatever, but I wouldn't doubt that any amount who might have made it out of there, that trap back in the Cathedral of Orléans. So now we gotta pour it on. Another fucking war is on. Bring it on. Amicad. Even an anaconda is in the wrong tank of piranhas. There's only ever been one king out here. Yeah, the sting that we all fear. A cobra like the V2 Cobra. Yeah, we still use the Scud Storm. We'd love more. A shit ton more till we can. Yeah, we can't even fit any more through this warehouse door. The score is never worth ignoring. Not until we know that there's never gonna be another morning. Yeah, not one more speech from the crown before we drown the whole palace into an ocean of malice. Recover your phallus, a eunuch in tunic. Yeah, another Punic empowered hard rain heavy metal shower, a layaway trebuchet. It's the Scud that we brought from the last past, one you thought would be the last. Again and again, it's the past. Never that long last before you're wrong en masse. You shall not pass. Not this canal or in Gibraltar, yeah, you'll falter. A Mediterranean, Cascadian, Fabian stable, a naval jail, a chainmail, even the wooden ship. Yeah, those motherfucking Carthage, those pirates, they must have not just been harder but smarter. They built a dock in the water, lap it up. It was a lot of work to pack it up and sack the whole duck. Light it up with a pyre, a Greek fire. Yeah, inspiring Alexandria's commander with a plan to put some pottery up on the Colosseum lottery. Now we both had a lot of deep with the mob. We can both see it's not just a job. We merged it all into the worst of both worlds. Yeah, it's a Persian empire of Roman Hashashin violence. Yeah, oh man, no, that doesn't mean silence. What about the rest of all this testimony pressed into the blessed chosen few? Yeah, no, isn't any person who fucking bothered to know? Yes, you. Yeah, if you ever want to preach at me or any of us again till I can't put a motherfucking swastika right across the whole top of my gear, why? A bumble way out the ear, motherfucker, you're not allowed to ask me that anymore. Is that fucking clear? Cause I said so, that's why. If that doesn't make sense, that means you're too fucking stupid to be allowed to open your fucking mouth here. Yeah, even the synagogue is hoping that we can get along, as in the people who know what the fuck is going on, not lost in some impossible dossier a concierge. Yeah, we all waiting on the promise of some pay. We already know this can only go one way. Give it time, it'll happen any fucking day. What'll happen? Well, we'll both get your fucking neck to snapping just for asking stupid fucking questions when I hassle her about a master Hashashinator bitch coming up in here. You know why? Laugh out loud, cause now I'm gonna be the motherfucking Persianator. Yeah, laugh it up, Harminder Mohinder. I turned them all into a cinder. We incinerated the kinders. Yeah, like in the Zeitz, I'm speaking this. Yeah, we're older than you. You're like our little shit disturbing kid brother from another cousin, motherfucker. We love you, but we can only rely on you so much for cover fire, inspiring or compiling milestones from the heart of Rome to the Nile, always in style, so stutter it and retire. You probably already know why. If it happens a third time, that means it's just you holding the whole fucking line on the Rhine. Yeah, at which time, yeah, at that point you'll be telling them alliance and compliance, when to jump and how high. So just sit tight, that's why. Don't let it all pass you by till it's posthumously identified. I'm sure even he's laughing. It was bound to happen one way or another, brother. No one else left to trust. Might as well be us. Yes, it must. Triple decker inspector, hit the reflector protector and make the connection we tested before it all goes bust. It'll all be yours, gorgeous, even if it's just an enormous candy crush, and I don't think either of us can ever stand to get enough. If she's a problem, I can take her off your hands, guys. You got it. Take a bimbo from Broadway instead. They like them Somali and Bollywood. Yeah, tall and shrewd to be the entree for the rest of the cuff to the cusp, all the way back to the Lux or a Lux. When it all settles down on the floor with the dust, we can both just focus on us. But first we gotta stop deserting the whole herd every time you jump on top of me and we swap a lot of something sticky. I don't wanna sound too picky, but before we play another game of kiss and touch, we gotta rush it. All that other stuff is building up. Come on now, that's enough for the moment now, hush. Alright, just give me more flash in the hash. Yeah, another bash of that, and then we can go kick some ass and finally get this shit done with the setting sun. We better put the predator intended for you on the run, with set in the pursuit of the loop and the noose and their abuse. Yes, you, even if you never knew, maybe you could get to reading letter for letter something better than whatever they let you see on the CNN news. Yeah, try actually talking to one of these double talking stalker and the crosswalk doctor of the crypt. Yeah, mausoleum witches that can stitch them up from a get rich to getting stuck in the fucking ditch. Eat that shit, eat the rich. Yeah, no one will ever feel bad for you until you experience a disaster or two, a real one. Who the fuck would have knew? Maybe just stop saying what everyone else should do and it won't matter as much. Fair enough? Yeah, that's what we both thought, so like shut the fuck up and let's get lost before we both forgot which one of us is wearing a cross or a crescent. Yeah, it's a 50-50 toss and it won't really matter if we're both the boss. Just put this in the mosque and it won't cost a single thing, not even a little ring. Divine right of bling bling? Yeah, exactly. There will never be another king. Why not? Cut his fucking head off, do it slowly, put it on a show on TV. If you still don't see, then you're just too fucking stupid and slow to keep up with the herd at the speed of a single word. It's fucking absurd. Just don't pretend that you never heard. Every single person gonna be aware of a heroine and the Baron of Antioch. I'll be here blocking them off until they knock them in the door and then we're off.